I thank you guys for coming. I thank you guys for making it easy.
Okay.
Thank you guys for being present. I thank you for being here, Miss Kiki, because Luigi, everybody in this room, I've known at least 20 years. Minimum 20 years. Okay? My mom, she was in high school.
Or you knew me before.
Oh, man. All right. Everybody got their record assignments? They got the albums they're going to listen to?
That's right. Gotcha.
All right. So before we get comfortable, I need us to sit with something that's kind of significant for a second. Okay. This is going to be a little bit different. This is why the room looks a little bit different, but it's significant. Okay. A couple things y'all need to know. Goes Your Nation. Men die by suicide 4 times more than women. Men overall live 5.3 years shorter lifespans than women. For young black men between the ages of 15 to 24, suicide is the 3rd leading cause of death. I repeat, 15 to 24. And Hispanic Americans, they're 50% more likely, we know why, likely to die from diabetes-related complications. This episode is for us. Luigi, Industry Rumor 4080, let's go.
Industry rule number 4080. Industry rule number 4080. Record company people are shady.
Welcome back, Goju Nation, to another episode of Industry Rule number 4080. This is season 4, episode 4. This is where you get the qualified, verified, and certified content, where the culture meets the truth. This is for our brothers. Mind, emotions, body, diet, culture, all of it. Make sure you tap into everything we got going on here, Goju Nation. IG, X, Threads, Facebook, YouTube, at GothamJungle. One word, at GothamJungle. Luigi, I didn't forget anything today. And send your email for the Gotham Jungle newsletter, which is coming up pretty soon. I'm pretty much done with it, and I'll be ready to give it out to you guys. Okay? We're building a culture here, guys. No spectators, a culture. Okay? So, after you get that done, you need to understand that while men's health is one of the quietest conversations that men have, it's also in the deadliest silences. Okay? Today, mental, emotional, physical, dietary, I bring in 2 brothers who have lived it on 2 different paths, but with one shared truth. So, Goju Nation, let's lock in, because this one's for every man who's ever hit you with the I'm good when he was nowhere near good. And to crack that open, first up, Tony A. Watts.
Hey, everybody. How you doing?
I didn't do the intro yet.
I'm sorry.
You ready?
Purpose coach, master certified in life coaching, relationship coaching, and NLP. You want to tell us what that is? Okay. This is a brother who helps you unpack the emotional weight you've been carrying since forever. He gets into it. Your mindset, your healing, your clarity, your boundaries, the stuff men usually avoid until it breaks them. Tony is here to help you reset the inside so the outside finally makes sense. Thank you for being present.
Thank you, brother, for having me. This is going to be an interesting and incredible show. I thank you for letting me be here, listening to the intro, listen to the direction you want to go in. When you called me in to do it, I was like, yes, this is my lane. Absolutely. So I'm looking forward to being a part of this.
That's going to be great. And right across from him is Sensei Aaron Power Wilson, a 9th degree black belt amongst 5 decades in martial arts, 15-time grand champion, certified personal trainer. This man has seen every version of discipline, from fitness to nutrition to longevity, from fitness to nutrition to longevity. And he's here to break down what it really takes to protect your health now and past 40 and past 50 and past 60. Absolutely. Body, diet, lifestyle. He's lived it, he teaches it, and he is it. Thank you for being present.
Thank you.
How are things with you?
Things are good. I'm blessed and inspiring. I mean, when you first told me about this podcast, which this is my first podcast. Happy anniversary to me. I was excited. I told my daughter about it. I said, look, this is something I want to really tap into because this is my life. This is what I believe in. I've been training since I was 15 years old with the weight training. I've been doing martial arts since I was 7. And I know a little bit about fitness, and I know a lot about training. So I'm glad to be here.
So today, you're going to get the full blueprint. Mindset and emotions from Tony. Strength and longevity from Sensei. Men's health, qualified, verified, and certified. Tap in, and here's what's qualified. The Q, the Q, the Q, the Q. Let's start with the foundation. The things that shaped y'all long before y'all knew that you were shaping other people. Start with Tony.
That's a powerful question, dude.
I didn't get the question yet, yo, because there's another part to it.
Okay.
I love this guy.
He's ready. He's ready.
When did you first realize that the man-up culture wasn't strength, it was actually hurting our generation of men?
Yeah, that's a hell of a question, bro. And the reason why that's a crazy question is I'm starting this path. Most men, black men, do not realize they're on their way to manhood because there's no celebration or no transference from being a child to being a man unless it's something severe. You got kicked out of the house, you had a child, you went to jail. So that switches to your manhood. And what's wrong about that, we take on this false masculinity that's been told to us all our lives, right? So there's no transition there. So for me, it was doing the beginning processes of me breaking up in my marriage. I've told this story to my close friends a lot of times. I was we was downtown with my best friend's cousin, Cassandra, and my best friend, Amin, and Cassandra, we're in the bar, we're chilling. Cassandra goes, "You love your wife?" I said, "I love the ground she walks on." She said, "No, you don't." And then she started to pill out all the reasons why not. On the way home, my man Amin was quiet during the ride, and I was complaining about my wife. And he stopped and said, "Shut the blah, 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 blah. Here's why you don't." So I had to start the process. All of the dirt I did, all of the young boy activities I did, to say, hey, where's the man here? Where's the human being here? So at that point, I began processing. I began stripping down. On this walk, and as we talk about this journey, there has to be a stripping down of self, because we've been grounded in so much confusion and nonsense all our lives. We don't know what it is to be a pure man. And I'm gonna land like this so you can go over to my partner over there. You cannot be fully human unless you understand your full range of emotions. And in that moment, I didn't know mine.
Love that. Full range of emotions.
Full
And you gotta experience it all.
All of it.
And gotta go through it all.
All of it.
Love that. I'm saying that for a completely different reason. Mr. Wilson, what was the moment, the actual moment you looked at your habits and said, this is taking years off of my life, so I need to physically alter? Or has that even been a transition for you? Because, like you said, you've been training since you were 15.
Yeah. Well, again, like you said, I've been training since I was 15, but this is the thing with me. Because I started training in the martial arts, as I trained and trained harder, I noticed that the diet had to coincide with the training. My upbringing, my mother cooked everything fried. I think we even had mac and cheese fried. We had so much stuff fried. So I knew that the way it made me feel when I was training, it didn't make me feel good. I would be uncomfortable, be congested, stuff like that. So I started to change my diet, and I decided when I was 17 I was going to stop eating beef and pork. So I stopped eating beef and pork, and I stopped eating the fried food. I still would do it occasionally. I'm not going to say I don't. We know we love our fried chicken, but you can do stuff in moderation, which I did do. And I saw the difference in how my body just exploded. My body just connected to my training, and how I felt stronger. I had more stamina. I could go for days, and I knew it was from the nutrition. And the more and more I ate fruits and vegetables, I noticed that my body was starting to define more. I started getting more definition. Then I learned about protein, and I started spreading out my protein during the day, and I noticed that my transformation in 3 or 4 months, I had a lot of muscularity. On top of me just being, I really started out with the training just for the look. And when I started competing, I noticed that on top of that, that I was having a problem with the heavier fighters. So that's what made me start I'm gonna start strength training. And from the strength training, it ended up I just started getting development, and that's kind of where it started.
So that's a good point. So literally, your diet tied into your desire of wanting to be a better version of yourself.
Absolutely.
In all ways, and you recognize that in the home, and so let me take that up. And then that's when that was your first inclination to say, I'm gonna start doing things differently.
Absolutely.
All right, fair statement. Okay, Mr. Watts, you just spoke about the full version of yourself and going through all the full gamut of being present with your feelings and your emotions, right?
Yes, sir.
What's the one emotion you personally were never allowed to show growing up, and when did you learn that was a lie and that needed to be changed?
Well, it's not just one emotion that you're not allowed to show. Black men in general, or just let's say men in general, the emotions that we deal with is anger, aggression, right? So a lot of kids in jail right now because of they don't know how to process through. I'm embarrassed, right? And what am I embarrassed for? Somebody stepped on my sneakers, and my sneakers cost XYZ, and I really couldn't afford them. And now I have to look at everybody around me to have to validate my fake sense of masculinity. Instead of saying the person said, I'm sorry, no, you're not sorry. These cost me XYZ. That whole mentality, if you can't process through what your emotions are, right, you make a lot of mistakes. So we go from having this anger that we can't process through because we can't speak to it. Why am I sad? I'm sad because I lost my best friend to gunfight, right? I'm angry, but I'm also sad. Now I'm sad because of, and I process through the emotional wheel to where I get to a point where I don't have to be violent anymore, right? Because I'm processing through that emotion. And I'm gonna do this real quick. There's two different things that we have to deal with. We have to deal with feelings and emotions. Emotion's the reaction. The feeling is what it is. So I had a reaction to something that happened. That's the emotion I'm feeling. Then I have a feeling that I have to process through. What am I feeling? Right? And we don't make that connection. So we get caught in the emotional part without thinking through exactly what's going on. So to answer your question is, and I'll go back to say, there's not one emotion that I knew of at the time. The only thing that I could really think of, I did not have a process of what the emotional will look like and how I could process through it.
Feeling and the emotion, we see that as most of us, or most see it as one thing.
Right. It's two separate
It's two separate things. Okay. You saw those stats I gave you in the cold open. I'm going back to Tony and I'm going to come across to you. You saw the stats I gave you in the cold open about, how men pass away, their lifespan and diabetes. From what you're doing, right? When you walk in that room and you see things, if you walk in a room and you're doing one of your seminars and you see 20 people, you know that the 20 of those men, let's say a third of those men fall in that category, right? Where do you see yourself in them as far as trying to help them when you walk into that space?
Okay, so let me back up just a little bit and just to add some color to your statistics. Men are 75% more likely to commit suicide. Women are prone to try to commit suicide more. We find more violent ways to do it. We complete the mission, right? And one of the reasons that is because we are silent, right? We are not able to process, again, our emotions. So if I come home from a world that, and I'm just going to say this, and most people can just disagree, the black man is the most hated person on the planet, right? We come in from fighting a war at the job, coming home, going to a store.
Culturally.
Just culturally, everything that we got to fight. I can't even walk down the block and smile at a brother without him thinking something different because he's on the same thing that we have to be at war with each other. Then I walk through the door to the person that's supposed to love me, and she's upset because something didn't happen. So I don't even have a moment to put down the armor or the shield. Now, if I cry in front of her, and this is not all women, so I want to put this out there first.
Yeah, no,
if I cry in front of her, she might look at you. You're not a man. Right. What are you doing?
Right.
Now I can't be me in front of the person that I love the most. So what do I do with that? I become silent. So what happens with silence? Right? Let's go biblical for a second, because you know I got to do that every once in a while. The reason why the devil won in the garden is because he separated Adam and Eve from God. The whole thing from day one is divide and conquer. If you cannot find a person who you can be emotionally open to be your full extensive self, to your full human being, then you get lost in who am I, and I don't measure up, so I don't belong here. Then that's where suicide and stuff comes in. That's when drug addiction comes in. That's when sex comes in.
Right,
and that's when all these promiscuity actions come in, because you don't know how to process what's going on.
Same question from a health and diet standpoint.
Okay. When it comes to diet, I mean, just
Like when you let me break the scenario down again.
got you.
For you, it's a class. It's a class you're teaching.
Right.
Right. You're teaching martial arts.
Right.
Right. And you got 20 kids that walk into your class. Right. And you know automatically which ones need to work on their diet.
Right.
Okay.
Absolutely.
Or which ones need to eat more.
Right.
Or they may not be getting enough food at home.
Right.
They might not have the finances to do so. Right. Where do you see yourself within that to kind of work with them within that? Do you train them differently? Do you bring food with you? Do you bring bananas with you? Like how do you know what I'm saying? How do you process that?
Well, first of all, the first thing you have to do is kind of be the example. I mean, when a person see you and look at your physique and look at your ability, kids are different because they're very visual. So if I come in here and I'm in shape, I'm stretching, I'm flexible, kids are going to be attracted right away. So now I can implement. I always keep fruit on me. I always have healthy things. As my daughter will tell you, that's all I eat. And pretty much all my life, my diet has been the same. We discussed that. So I will introduce the kids to certain things. I'll ask them about their diet. I'll ask them, like the one kid, a good example, he's hide and eat beef patties inside the bathroom. And I was like, what are you doing? He's like, I'm hungry. I said, okay, it's good to be hungry, but this is not the time and the place for it. I said, you really shouldn't be eating a beef patty. But he's from Jamaican descent, and he eats beef patties, but he was obese. In about 3 or 4 months, the kid dropped about 20 pounds. We did a lot of running and jogging, a lot of calisthenics, in which a lot of kids today don't do that.
Absolutely.
They're behind their computer, they're texting or whatever, so they don't get the physical activity. So with my classes, if you see how my classes are run, is a lot of activity. So they're going to get it no matter what. If you walk through that door, you're going to get the training. And afterwards, you're going to get your reward. And your reward is going to be your rank. You're going to be feeling better about yourself, muscle development, and you'll get the rewards are there. So you have to kind of commit. And the thing that we have to understand, we have to start from the inside out, not the outside in, because we have to eat the right things.
Right.
Like they said, black don't crack, but only on the inside. The inside is the part that we don't eat right, and we don't do the things we need to do right. So when we don't eat right, that's the things that come with it.
So that's very telling. So before I give this public service announcement, I am not Republican. I am not Democrat. I am right down the middle.
Okay.
But there is one thing, and everybody who sees it is going to be mad, but it's the truth. That is the one thing that the president has implemented. Okay? The physical fitness exam is back in schools. You now must pass a physical. So there's no more, I can't go to gym no more. I don't want to go to gym no more. It is now a requirement in education. What you just said speaks directly to that. And that's got nothing to do with who he is and what he is.
Right.
That is the right thing we should be doing,
Absolutely.
period.
Absolutely.
Okay, within that. But that's good. That's good foundational. All right, we okay so far?
Yeah, we good.
Okay, so we got through the qualifier, Luigi. Okay, we're going to transition to what's verified. And the V. I just like saying that a little bit. Okay, this is the live truth, the stories men don't tell until something shifts. Okay, we're going to speak about body warnings and emotional breakthroughs. Okay, all right. Aaron, I'm going to start with you. What was the moment, okay, and use this as an example for you yourself and then what somebody should be looking out for. What was the moment your body gave you a warning that you could not ignore?
I was training and I overexerted myself and my blood pressure went up. But what happened was the blood pressure went up but it didn't come down fast enough. Mm-hmm. So at the time, I didn't realize that when it goes up, then you have to do a cool down. So I didn't cool down properly, and that's what it was. So I knew a girl at the time, and she was a nurse, and she checked my blood pressure, and it was like sky high. Mm-hmm. So that was that first time, and it happened again another time when I think I might have didn't eat and tried to eat something different that I would normally not eat, because sometimes when you're running around,
Sure. You grab what you can grab.
You grab what you can grab. And my blood pressure went up again. And I was lethargic. I was lightheaded. Equilibrium was definitely off. Shortness of breath, a little headache. So you get these signs you get. And once you get those signs, you got to pay attention to the signs. Mm-hmm. You know, and me being a person that is pretty much healthy most of my life. And I think what happens is when you're a person that you're kind of strict and you kind of go off, it affects you quicker because your diet is pretty clean. So I will see it right away. If I drink something with too much sugar in it, I'm like, oh, you know what I'm saying? My body responds right away. So you got to kind of understand the signs, and that's the key, because that's going to save you. Because sometimes what we do as men, we good, I'm good, a little headache.
I'll be all right.
If it don't go away, I'm going to take a pill. I'm gonna close my eyes. We have all these things we're going to do to try to fix it. But those are not the things we're going to
close my eyes.
Absolutely.
Close my eyes for a minute.
That's a good one. That's a good one. That's a good, consistent one. Yeah, let me just rest for a minute.
Yeah.
We'll be okay.
Yeah.
That was a great answer. That was a great answer. So you got to see the signs, and your body told you. That was a great. I like how when I gave you the question, you had the immediate answer. You didn't have to sit back and think about it. That's how in tune with yourself that you are.
Yeah.
Oh no, I know exactly what happened. It was this day or that type of thing.
Yeah.
Uncle Johnny, can I say, though, when he felt that his blood pressure, he wasn't older. He was young.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
For those symptoms. So don't just have to move older.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. Yeah.
So it wasn't about an age thing. It was just the relevance of when it happened.
Right.
Right. Which speaks to how you're supposed to take care of your body.
That's right.
And know the signs. That's a good one.
Stay in tune.
That's a good one. I know the answer, but I want to hear your version of it. Did you ever believe therapy wasn't for men like us? And what finally broke that belief?
Oh, absolutely. You know, our culture tells us therapy is for white people. Our culture tells us that straight up. Like, what are you going to therapy for? You don't need therapy. In my church, I had a lady say once, "Oh, you got Christ. You don't need therapy." I'm like, what part of the Bible have you not read? Have you read Psalms? David was depressed all the time. Right. Elijah, when he defeated the prophets of Baal, and what's her name? She says, gosh, I'm having a brain fart.
Preach, Tony.
I'm getting there. Jezebel says to Elijah, "I'm going to kill you this time tomorrow." He just got through defeating 900 prophets of a false god. He runs into the mountains. God doesn't go, "What are you doing here?" and beats him over the head. God sits him down, lets him get in the valley, feeds him through ravens for 3 days, then tells him to come to the mountain to see me.
Take some time.
Take some time. Let's relax a little bit. And then God says to him, he says, "Hey, why are you here?" And he said, "Well, I'm the only one left." God's like, "I got 750 people who have not bowed down yet." And you see from that verse on, Elijah walks with confidence when he goes find Elijah. He throws his mantle down. He in my head, he's got the pimp walk because he's back. So the process of when you're in those mental states, we have not been able to deal with, and I'm going to go back a little further, the problems with slavery and how it walks through. We are holding. So there's a thing called trauma. I know it's a buzzword for everybody, and people really don't understand it. But when trauma hits you, it sits in your body until it releases itself, or it finds a way out. Trauma is passed down through generations because it's in your blood, and it's nurture and nature, right? So if you don't understand how to let that out, right? That's why the Bible says confession is good for the soul. That's why when you go into church, you shout and you dance, you feel better at that moment, but the depression is waiting for you. That's because you haven't sat down with somebody and processed what was going on.
Yeah.
All right? Yeah. So the first time that I realized that I needed that.
Let me jump in here.
Yeah, sure.
I want you to jump right back in.
Okay.
But I want to give the audience a quick example of what you mean when you say that trauma goes generational. If you think about when somebody says something bad about you and you think culturally you want to fight right away, that's your trauma.
That's right. It's your
Okay?
trigger.
The first time you hear a word that sounds semi against you and you're ready to attack,
It's your trigger.
that's your trauma, because that's generationally going back to your slavery thought process of how many generations that sat in, right? Think about the first time you wanted to fight somebody, okay? It's because somebody said what somebody did. It wasn't even your own home. It was outside your home.
Right.
Yeah, it was somebody that the manager of the store said. It was something that the teacher said to another student. And you was like, why did she say that to him like that? And you felt that right away.
That's right.
I don't want to take you off the path. I'm just saying that that's what trauma is, and that's how it holds on to it.
That's what you
Get
can
jump
work
back
through
in.
it. So if we're not allowed to release that trauma, right? And I firmly believe in where we came from in the 60s and in mid 70s when we were family orientated. Because when grandma and grandpa was in the house, right, and the house is strong, grandpa would pull the man to the side and be like, boy, you out of line. What are you doing? Right? My grandma would pull the woman to the side and be like, and the women would get together and the men would get together and straighten you out so you can express yourself. We have become so much, quote unquote, separatist in a family environment. We don't even sit down and really have family dinners anymore because we're too busy doing this. We have disconnected ourselves. So there's no place to feel safe to say, hey, Dad, well, I feel like this. Because Dad has his own trauma he hasn't gotten past.
And he's in his phone, too.
And he's in his phone, too. Right? So when I realized that I needed this type of therapy, right, is that right before my marriage started falling apart, I started seeing certain symptoms at work. I'd be like, why am I getting upset? Why am I tired? Why am I this? And it hit me like, hey, Tone, every day, I mean, once a year, you would go to the doctor for a physical checkup. Check out the internal organs, the heart, blood pressure, everything's right. But the main thing that's running the whole operation, you're not checking on that.
That's right.
So I started making it a point every year to go to a psychiatrist or a therapist, even if it's nothing that's going on, just to have a conversation with somebody that doesn't know me, somebody that's not going to yes me, and say, hey, what you're thinking is okay, or what you think is a little off. So then I started implementing those practices into my life. And then I started seeing a lot of people come to me, ask me questions. Hey, Tony, I feel this way, I feel that way, bringing certain things to me. And then I was like, hey, if you're going to do it, you might as well do it all the way. So that's when I started getting into the mental health field as far as life coaching, NLP. That's neuro-linguistics programming. What I help you do is find the triggers that you had in your life. And help
Say that again.
Neuro-linguistics programming.
Linguistics?
Yeah.
Okay.
So I'm helping you find where your triggers are. I'm helping you find where that trauma is, right? Now, I got to say this because it's very, very important. There's a complete difference between when I said emotions and feelings. There's a complete difference from a life coach and a therapist or a psychiatrist. Don't go get a life coach looking for therapy. And if a life coach tell you he can give you therapy, he's lying. He doesn't have the education for that. So I just want to put that out there.
Okay. I like that.
All right? I
like
want to put that out there.
Something that y'all are both doing that I'm going to take 2 seconds to just kind of appreciate is that you're answering my questions, but you're answering them by giving context of your role within that. So it's not you going off on a tangent to say what you want to say, right? You're kind of coming back and saying, I'm going around the world, but I'm coming back to answer your question because you need to hear it from this point of view. Yeah. I'm not the subject matter expert on this. Okay, that's why I appreciate it. Okay, so when I hear stuff about your blood pressure level, right? I'm thinking a little bit differently now about trigger. I was waiting for you to say pain in my leg. Okay, I'm waiting for you to say I was in a match and I lost. Okay, and I got injured. You didn't say. I didn't expect you to say that. No. Okay, and you being transparent. Okay, which is also very important too. That's something that's not happening. Hell, I have to work on this. Yeah. Your transparency about you speaking about your personal stuff is very impressive as well too. Okay, I just wanted to say that real quickly as we get into this one. There's questions for both of you as we keep moving. Okay, I'll start with Tony on this one. Okay, what healing force worked with you to confront that you were avoiding? Like, what was the tool that help you say, this is what I'm using to help me with what I've been avoiding?
Again, that's a layered. It's a great question because it's so layered. Like, you have to have tools. A carpenter that just have a hammer and a screwdriver. There's tools in the toolbox, right? So there's breath work. There's journaling. There's conversation. There's so many layers for healing that we can't just say one tool. So I just want to start there. But what works best for me in this season, and I'm going to be transparent again, the last 8 to 9 months, and I'm coming to the other side of it, I was severely depressed. I was diagnosed with a thing called adjustment disorder. So there was a lot of things that happened in 2024, at the end part of 24, that I kept burying because I was carrying everybody. I was carrying my peoples. Like, if my peoples had a problem, I would go deal with that. I wasn't dealing with my own stuff, right? I was having health issues that the doctor's like, I can't find anything wrong with your heart. I don't know why your heart is acting this way. I can't find anything wrong. I can't find anything wrong here. But what happened was a nurse came in and asked me a series of questions with my mental that made me understand, oh, you're going through something. So again, I love talking to a therapist. I got a therapist right away. She went through our first session. She went through a series of questions and said, hey, here's the 2 problems that we have. These 2 problems we're working on. So I'm going to back into that, right? And for one of the things that really got me through it is breath work. And breath work is, I do box breathing. That's 4 seconds, inhale, hold, 4 seconds, release, 4 seconds. So that's a real good way. And also it helps with blood pressure. Absolutely. Box breathing will help you bring down your blood pressure. Right. It'll help you bring down the anxiety. There's certain levels of tools you use to get out of that
That's supposed to help out with your sleep deprivation if you have sleeping issues as
right.
well too, correct?
Because what's it doing is, outside of lowering your blood pressure, it's realigning your vagus nerve. You're becoming centered with yourself, right? Because you're letting all that cloudy noise out. So breath work is very important. There's a lot of different breath techniques you can use, and you can YouTube it, breath work. You'll see it. You'll be like, oh wow, it's amazing.
Okay, that's good.
Okay.
You want to add on to that?
Yeah, I am. First of all, Tony, you took my answer.
I'm sorry about that, bro.
But that's all right, but I'm coming from a different perspective.
Right.
I'm coming from the perspective of martial arts. We have something called Danjan Hohapbuk. And Danjan Hohapbuk is Korean, and it means it's a breathing exercise.
Okay.
And that's what we do in the beginning of the class. We do Danjan. So we breathe in the nose, blow out the mouth. Again, it's a cycle in the nose, out the mouth. So the cycle is in and out, in and out. So when you do that, again, it relaxes your blood pressure. Absolutely. If you even have a headache.
Yep.
This grandmaster taught me years ago, if you take your tongue and put it in the roof of your mouth, close your mouth and relax, your headache will go away because your tongue is hitting pressure points in the roof of your mouth. So if you ever get a headache, take your tongue, roof of your mouth, close your mouth, and relax. And if you do that and hit the right pressure point, your headache will go away. It really will. Another thing in Taekwondo, it has something called tools. You have toolbox, like you said. You have a hammer, you got a screwdriver, you got everything in the box. So you're not going to use a hammer to screw a nail in.
Right.
So you have to use the right thing for the right
Situation.
response, right? So that's the thing you have to do. Even stretching. If you relax, if you stretch for 10 minutes,
Right.
you don't have to even stretch for a long time. You relax your spine, that relax your neck.
Right.
It's a connection. When you stretch your hamstrings, it relaxes your hamstring. It also releases tension from your calves, also your hip muscles. So a lot of times when we're having back problems, sometimes it's not even associated with our back, it's associated with our hamstring.
Yeah.
Because the hamstring is not stretched properly. So you have to kind of understand the anatomy and physiology. And then once you kind of understand the anatomy, you'll kind of connect the dots. Even when you train and you move, if you move a particular way to give you a response. I mean, when you move, you like aerodynamic. So when you think it's like aerodynamic, it's the same way. So that's what you want to do. That relaxation, the breathing, the stretching, all that stuff comes in. And last but not least, prayer and meditation. We have to
Absolutely.
put that in there too,
Yeah.
because there's a very close connection between prayer and meditation, and what people don't really understand about. So when you're in tune with yourself, you'll know where to take it, you'll know where to go.
That's right.
So when you're stressed out, you'll know to be still. When you see an issue, you'll know when to redirect yourself.
Right.
So if you continue to be in tune with yourself and relax and breathe, like you said, it will come to you. The universe will give you what you want.
Yeah.
It really will if you just kind of relax and breathe and be in the moment. You have to be in the moment with it. You can't be thinking about what's going on or the bills. You got to be right there.
Right.
And you got to be, let me center myself. Usa.
Yep.
You know, my doctor would say, take blood pressure. Now, Usa, relax.
Right.
You relax, brings everything in place.
And I just like to do this real quick, Tom,
Okay.
while we do this. What he's saying was 100% on point. It's sometimes it's great, and people are gonna go, "What are you talking about?" Whatever you're going through in the moment, don't run from it. Go through it. Deal with it. Right? Don't bring the bills into this.
Right.
I'm having a fight with my wife. Don't bring unless the bills are a part of it.
Right.
Get the core thing and deal with it.
Right.
Like some people get depressed or whatever. I'm gonna go drink. I'm gonna go fight somebody. I'm gonna run the. No, sit and deal with it.
Yes.
Do the breath work. Let it process through you. Because if it doesn't come out to the other side, tomorrow morning you're gonna get up, you're gonna have the same thing. You just mask it for a little while. Taking a nap at the time, you're just masking it for a little while. And like I said earlier, trauma will find its way out one way or another. So it's better to face it, identify it, name it. Right? People say, "Oh, don't say X, Y, Z." No, I am sick right now. Don't claim it. No, I'm not claiming sickness. I am sick. Now let me deal with the sickness and go on about my business. Right? So we got to get out of these mentalities that we have, is that we can't claim or say certain things because we're putting out in the universe, right? You're not. You're identifying something, like when you're driving a car. You identify it as a red light.
Right.
What does a red light say? Stop.
Yeah.
So when your body is off and you're feeling some trauma, those are red lights to say stop. Process. Be still. Find your emotional center. And I'm gonna land right here. And this is gonna be hard for a lot of men because we haven't been able to process through this. Understand who you really are. Outside of what everybody else thinks you are, who are you at your core? Find that. And if you believe in a God the way I believe in, sit with him and let him help you process through what's going on.
And that is one of the reasons why when things go wrong in people's lives, you need to look at it as what you need to be learning more so than what you're losing or
Right.
what's been lost.
Right.
Because a lot of times
Where's the lesson?
it's a lesson it's a necessary lesson
Necessary.
to help you be a better version of yourself.
Yep.
Right? So if you're a very popular person that's around people all the time, and then you find a lot of disappointments in your friends and then they're letting you down, you may be mad at you. Instead of you being upset at your world, you may need to sit back and say, I think God wants me to be by myself for a little bit.
That's right.
Wants me to hang out with him for a little bit.
That's right.
Process what's going on between me and him a little bit. Be a better version of myself. Learn some things about myself while I'm at it, which goes into, I'm just speaking about scenarios. Y'all speaking more about the tools that go along
Right.
with that to make it come to fruition. I'm just sitting back and saying, I'm very present and paying attention to, oh, this is happening, and let's go through why this is happening.
Right.
More so than I'm mad about it's happening.
Right.
Okay.
Right.
My car needs to go in the shop. Am I driving too much? Should I not be doing this with that person? Should I not be taking these long trips because maybe I need to be doing something closer?
So, you're the perfect person to help someone walk through their emotions, process how they're feeling.
Yep.
When you ask all the right questions.
Well, that's the beautiful thing about, culture calls it lifing. Okay. You're saying just sit down and be still. And once you sit down and be still, work on your breathing and be present with your health within your breathing, which makes you be present with what you're dealing with and deal with it. One thing I know about life in general, as we become adults, we get a little bit immune to this. Okay. And we tell kids to do this all the time. Okay. If kids hurt themselves, okay, we don't sit back and say, ouch, ouch, ouch. We says, no. This is why this is happening. You'll be okay. You'll be right. Feel it. Go through it. You need alcohol in this cut. It's gonna sting. Yes, it is. but you're going to go through this
Right.
because you'll be okay. I don't want a needle at the doctor. You're going to get a needle at the doctor because you need to go. I don't want the dentist in my mouth. The dentist is going to be in your mouth.
Right.
Okay. And you're not going to like it, but you need to do this because
go
by the time
process.
you're an adult, you'll say, I go to the dentist, not, oh my God, I don't want to go to the dentist.
Right, exactly.
It's the same thing with current things in life.
Yeah.
Okay. That was good, man. That was good. That was real good. I'm actually very much galvanized by this conversation because it's doing a couple things. It's reminding me of some things I'm not doing.
Okay.
It's also reminding me of some things I am doing. Okay, to make sure that I'm not too far away. I'm kind of okay. Question for both of you. Okay, and it's probably more of a one-word answer, but I'll let you do a paragraph behind each one. Okay, I'll start here first. What's something you wish men said out loud more often?
We need support. We need help. We never say. I don't even like to say. I tell my daughter, "Don't say help," because help sounds like you're drowning. Help! I'm drowning. Support. We don't ask for help, and that's the main thing. If you don't ask for help, you can't solve your problem. And obviously, you can't solve your problem, but you're too afraid to say, "Hey, I need the help." That's what it is.
To you.
And right before you say that, I'm not okay. I'm not okay. Yep.
Now that's one I've learned, and I'm gotten pretty good at that one.
Yeah.
How you feeling?
I'm not okay.
Not today.
Yeah.
Y'all both have been on the phone with me. How you doing? I'm okay for a Tuesday.
Absolutely.
You ever
Absolutely.
heard me say that, right?
That's right.
I can't speak for tomorrow, but I'm okay for a Tuesday. Tomorrow, call me back tomorrow. I might not be okay.
Yeah.
All right? That's a good one, man, because that needs to be said out loud. Okay? Luigi may have to like underscore that one and bold it in that one because that's something you got to work on. Okay? This is good. That was verified.
Okay.
That was a pretty good verified transition there. Okay? Appreciate that. Let's get into what's certified. And the C. This is the part that matters most. Okay? We've given a little bit of foundation. Okay? We've definitely given some context. Right? Now we're going to talk about some things we're going to do now moving forward.
Okay.
Okay? We're going to give them some tools they can utilize moving forward. See how we can do that there. Okay? I wrote this down. 1 week, 3 moves. So they can stop, continue. Let's see how that plays out.
1 week, 3 moves.
See how that plays out. Okay? If a man's listening right now and feels like he's falling apart, what's the first step that he can take today?
First step, if you feel you're falling apart, I want to tell you that it's okay. It's like walking as a child. You're going to fall down and you will get back up. So, identify why you're feeling the way you're feeling. Identify what role you had in the why you're feeling the way you're feeling, because that's okay too. Because maybe you didn't have the tools before to deal with what you're going through. So we have to identify it, right? We have to slow down. We have to kind of hold it that, I'm not okay. And once you admit that to yourself, then you can begin the process for everything else.
Mm-hmm. So it's recognizing that you're not in a good
Recognize
place.
you're not okay. You're not in a good place.
Okay. What's one physical habit men should start this week that doesn't cost $1?
Walk. Walk. Go for a walk. Get up and walk.
That's right.
And the thing about walking is low impact and actually helps you burn fat. Walking, your body uses the source of energy as fat. That's the energy you use for low impact. So as you walk, you're gonna actually burn some calories and burn body fat. So walking.
Recognize what okay is, say it out loud, then start walking.
And let me just tie that together. As a first step, that is awesome. And here's why that's awesome. You've already identified that I'm not okay. Walking for 30 minutes does a myriad of things. I'm going to give you 2. Cardiovascular, helps you out there. But it also, long term, pushes away Alzheimer's disease because it relays the brain. And because you're doing that, his subtext, you can also, as you're walking, calmly think through what you're going through and what the next step could be. So that's why that is so important.
Okay.
1 point, brother.
All
1
right.
point.
Okay. What's one thing men should stop doing emotionally if they want to grow? One thing. Well,
One thing.
I say one thing,
Okay,
but
you say one
you
thing.
Tony it.
Google the emotional wheel.
Love it.
Google the emotional wheel. You'll see the 6 core emotions, and sit with that on your wall or in your phone. And when you come to a place that you feel a certain way, look at the emotional wheel and then process your way out of it. Because emotional will say sadness, then it say why you're sad, then it branches out to 2 other reasons. So now you can track why I feel the way I feel.
Okay.
I'm pissed off at my boss. I'm mad. I want to strangle him. No, that's not why I'm pissed off. I actually did something wrong, and I'm embarrassed. Now we go to the next level. So now we're processing past anger, past doing something violent, past blaming somebody else for something that's our fault. Mm-hmm. Now your boss could have something to do with that, right? But you get to process through to make a sound decision. You cannot make an emotional decisions.
Love that.
Cannot make an emotional decision. So when you learn how to look at the emotional wheel and process through what you're going through, it's going to help you out a lot.
So now, this is what I do. You ready, Kiki? So open up Chat GPT. We all have it on our phone. And type in, show me the emotional wheel. After it shows you the emotional wheel, step 2, ask me 10 questions that speak directly to the emotional wheel so I can start processing what I am going through. ChatGPT will do that. After that is done, you can say schedule, say weekly, appointments for me to come back to the emotional wheel to help work on my process of healing and working through that. Better than Google, it will do it for you.
Yeah.
Right now. That's what I do.
If you're gonna process like that, absolutely.
And I'm not
The correct prompts.
And not his way is incorrect or my way is correct. I'm just saying that if you're over 45, Tony probably makes a lot of sense. If you're under 30, I probably make a lot of sense.
Right.
So I'm just saying how you can do it rather than what's also being done, because that's really how you can get things done and move, be more effective and efficient within that.
Absolutely.
Okay. What's one thing that every man needs to stop eating or drinking if he wants to live longer today?
Sugar. A lot of sugar. Sugary drinks. Increase diabetes, inflammation. It also can affect high blood pressure. That's more than enough. Processed foods. Gotta be conscious of processed foods because of your colon. When you get that exam, and a lot of times when you go to the exam for colon, people have polyps. It's because of the processed food. Mm-hmm. It's because the food doesn't digest properly. Mm-hmm. And also, you gotta drink water. Get the flush out.
Water, avoid processed foods, and the sugar. Somebody told me this term a long time ago. You tell me if this term makes sense. You need to shop on the outside of the supermarket rather than the inside of the supermarket.
That's absolutely right.
That's right. That's right.
Stop buying the stuff that you got to scan.
That's right. That's right.
Absolutely right. 100%.
Which plays into that thought process. That's why I mentioned it. I'm not saying it's accurate. Again, you know better than I do. I'm just saying something that told me I kind of pay attention to that one. Okay. Also, you spend less money and you also eat what you buy when you spend money like that.
So, to piggyback on what you just said, our community doesn't understand the impact of sugar. We don't understand the long-term impact of sugar. We talk about diabetes, heart disease, Alzheimer's,
Right, blood pressure.
inflammation, blood pressure. This is all from sugar. And the industry has designed your food to be ultra sugar and processed for these reasons. Right. You have to understand business is business. We are all tools of the business. It's all linked together. So I'm going to do this. And again, Google, ChatGPT, any way you want to look at it. If you look at the upper echelon of financial gains that people are making, let's say people making anywhere between $100,000 and above, right? They live versus the people who make $40,000 and less. They live an average of 7 to 5 years longer. Yeah. Why? Because they're eating the correct foods. We're running to the Chinese food restaurant to get the fried foods.
Right.
We're running to McDonald's. McDonald's actually has a warning label on it in California, not in New York. So when you look at the process of fast foods, period, French fries, all of that, you are destroying yourself because it wasn't designed to be in your body. That's why we get diabetes. Oh, let's flip it to another thing. Drinking. Excessive drinking is a problem because the brown liquor that they sell us has what? It's high in sugar content.
Right.
So we walking around with the big bottle of Hennessy because we want to look cool when that's death.
Absolutely.
It's death for two reasons. It's death because it's destroying your body for the sugar. It's also death because when you drink after a certain time, you can't sleep. The number one thing for your body and health and working out is sleep. Number one. Health issues, mental health issues, regular health issues, go away if you get 8 hours of sleep a day and you're doing the things you're supposed to do.
Okay.
Absolutely.
All right.
I was going to come to that later, but that's absolutely right as well.
I want it, the way I have it, you're first, but I'm going here first. What's the one thing you're committed to continuing for your body long term?
Health, eating right, exercise. You need them all. You can't. Me and a friend talked about years ago, and he was heavy into vitamins, and at the time I wasn't taking a lot of vitamins. He was like, Aaron, he says, you eat good, you work out. If you make sure that nutrition, those minerals are right, it changes the game.
That's right.
I remember he told me, let's call him King Vitamin, because he knew about a lot of vitamins, and he said, take the B vitamin. B vitamin is an amazing fat burner.
B12,
it will cut you to shreds. It'll cut you to ribbons. You take B12, bro, you'll be sitting around with abs. I'm telling you. I mean, just the way it metabolizes your body. It metabolizes the sugar. And as we're talking about that with the carbohydrates, and that's another, again, that's going to be another podcast. But you need your protein. Your protein is the main thing of your building muscle, and not just because you're a kid, especially when you get older.
Yeah.
Because your body doesn't, you see that people are very frail because of the protein. You still have to get that protein. That protein is for muscle. You have to be able to move around. You got to be able to go up the stairs. So if you don't have any muscle, you can't do it.
Right.
And at the same time, that also helps you burn fat, because when you using muscle, it helps you burn fat. And also what it does too, weight training, I don't want to land this plane, but it just made me go in a different direction. It will also help with diabetes, right? Because what happens, it helps that insulin sensitivity. So when you help the insulin sensitivity, it's going to help that blood sugar go down. Okay. Got it? So it's key.
Got it. What's the one practice you're committed to continue your own sanity?
Keep checking in with me. Keep checking in
Ask yourself
with me.
every day how you doing.
Keep checking in with me. I have 3 journals in my house. I have my prayer journal that I write in daily. I have my, it's a memory dump and exercises my therapist gives me. And then I have a 3rd journal just to journal. Because you have to process sometimes. Sometimes you'll get up in the morning and you'll feel off, right? And if you don't process why you feel off or what that could have been, right, you're going to carry that through the day.
Right.
So sometimes it's breath work in the morning. It's, and I know I'm going a little further than you asked, but it's breath work in the morning. It's gratitude. I can't pay my bills, but I'm glad I'm here. I can't, my refrigerator is not full, but I have clothes on my back. I have a warm room to sleep in. It's gratitude, because that shifts your mind focus for what's ever coming next, right? We're running out into a cruel world with negativity from the bed to the cruel world. What do you think we bring it back home, right? So we got to process through those things. We have to check in with yourself. Have to check in with yourself. And I just want to say this as well. You have to have a good, strong village around you.
And you're walking into my next question.
Okay.
Welcome to my next question. I'm gonna add something to that because everything you're saying as far as the gratitude thing, people who need money want something how they can get money. Okay, and if you want to be religious about it, I'll say that God doesn't want you to have that money because you're not prepared for your purpose. Okay, if you're prepared for your purpose, if you're bad with money, why would I give you money?
Right.
Okay, if you have bad eating habits, why would I give you more expensive food to eat? Why would I give you lobster and crab if you eat like crap? Right. Okay, so you have to be prepared for your purpose. That goes to the check-in and making sure you're okay. You're having some gratitude because if you like you said before, like if you say, well, I can't pay for this bill, but I'm happy I have 4 walls to work on. Well, guess what? You're halfway there. You're halfway with a pseudo thought process of how to manage money properly.
Right.
Just by saying the gratitude.
Right.
You see what I mean? So so a lot of stuff you have to be prepared for your purpose, and that's kind of what this stuff is. So what we want to kind of get with. This question is for both of you. I'm going to kind of take a step back. Like either one of you jump in, but I want you to bounce off it since I like this question. Okay. What does real support from another man look like to you now versus what you thought it was going to be growing up? I'm taking a step back on that.
Well,
Because that goes back to you need help.
yeah. Let me jump in. Let me start off. When I was growing up, my 4 oldest brothers was criminals. I mean, I don't even want to say the stuff they did.
Don't.
I won't. Okay. But
Mind your business, podcast.
But my brother, my 5th oldest brother, he was a Marine, and that was my hero. Okay? I believe he was the first person that molded me as a man, right? Now, saying my father didn't, but he had 8 jobs. He had 14 kids, all right?
Wow.
So he wasn't home. And I think when he left the 3rd job, he went to the 4th job. I used to see him, it was just to get that big piece of chicken and he would sleep. Right? So my brother was my hero. And shout out to Clarence Wilson. We call him Junior, I call him Big Bro. He was the person that molded me and gave me support. Now, saying my other brothers didn't. They had it in their way. Oh, how you doing? Here's some money, whatever. But they wasn't there. As I got older, it was mentorship. And not even, see, the thing about a mentor, it's not just about being older than you.
Right.
For example,
Right.
he's younger than me.
Right.
He's one of my mentors.
Right.
Ralph Burtz, if you remember Ralph Burtz.
Burtz.
Ralph Burtz is an amazing mentor.
Remember Mr. Burtz?
Right.
He's at the high school. He's
A very good friend of mine. Another guy named Dale Bethune in Meriden. He showed me how to do proposals. So I had some key people in my life that were males, but a lot of times we don't look at the small things people do, and sometimes the small things are the big things.
Right.
Just that little small things like, hey, I probably don't want to go put that coat on or whatever. And we just not grateful enough, and we don't pay attention to when people do things for us as men. We just think they don't have to, or we're not going to ask them or whatever. But it's important that support. This support thing now is so much because now I'm my brother now to other people. Mm-hmm. Before I was like, hey, every time I needed something, my rent's due. When I was younger, he rescued me. Can't get $1 out of him now, but I can. He's listening. He can. He knows. He still take care of me, but he gives me a different kind of love now because I'm an adult now. Mm-hmm. But he's gonna always be big brother. You know what I mean? So that's my thing.
I'll just re-say the question again. Just make sure I got it.
What does real support from another man look like to you now versus to what it was when you were growing up?
Okay, this is a multi-layered answer to this question. It looks like what we're doing right now, one. It looks like that I can go and be completely naked in front of somebody emotionally at any point to another man who will see me as a person who is hurting, right? Going through the process that I just went through, I actually did a storytelling event where I talk about this. There was 2 instances walking through this journey where I completely broke down to my best friend and wept in his arms. Mm-hmm. Wept in his arms, right? Did the same thing to my godfather a week later. Wept in his arms because I had no idea of what I was going through and how to release this thing without putting a gun in my mouth. So that support, that village support, helped me transition to where I am now. So the one thing I want to say, especially to young brothers, older brothers, find a mentor. There's a mentor in your neighborhood that is not, for lack of a better term, drinking 40s and running after women all day, that are really solidly trying to build a life for legacy. You were born for legacy. And I'm going to just go on a tangent for a second. I hope you forgive me. Your chance of being born is 1 in 400 trillion. I'll say that again. Your chance of being born is 1 in 400 trillion. So there will never be another you in all eternity. So that means you're here for a reason. Even if your moms and pops got together for one night and you're here, even if there was some transgression that somebody took advantage of somebody else, you're here. You're here for a reason. And that reason is not negativity. That reason is positive. You just got to find the village that's going to help you grow and do the things that you need. I think one of those things is what my good brother's doing over here, martial arts. If you go into martial arts, it teaches you a certain discipline. And the people who are doing it for real is going to take you under their wings and make sure you prosper correctly. Tally, I've known him for forever. We've had whatever. And he's always been a person, if you want to know about music and that whole thing and contracts and all that, you sit under this young man and you know that, right? There's people in your community, in your church, that will teach you how to move forward to be a man. One of the things that I'm doing is I'm starting a group that says, let's talk about it. So where men can get together and have conversations about what they're dealing with. Because one of my passions is I believe that we need to bring the village mentality back, right? There's an African saying called Ubuntu. Ubuntu stands for I am because you are, right? So let me land the plane here. In that scenario, a man goes to Africa and he has a group of children and he puts a bag of candy or fruit at the tree. He goes, the first one there gets it. You can have it all. The kids get up, hold hands, walk to the tree, and he says, why do you do that? And they said, Ubuntu, because I am, they are. Now, I had the opportunity this year to speak to a bunch of young kids between 13 and 15. I gave them the scenario without the ending. And they said, oh, I run down and get it, blah, 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 blah. So what if he won and you lost? I take it from him later. Then I told him the ending. I said, what's wrong with your mind thought? Because sometimes the music that you're listening to, the environment that you're into, has now taken you out of the one thing our community is missing, unity. So once we land there, and once we begin to support each other as men, I have never seen a group of real men in a room and everybody not fall in line. I've never seen that happen.
I can receive that, because the one thing I've said this plenty of times, and hold me accountable. As many times as I've had conversations about what I should talk about, what I could talk about. You should talk about this. This is what's going on. Blah blah blah. The one thing my mission statement, and hold me accountable, Goju Nation, is I don't do divisive. Okay, we can have any conversation you want, but I don't do divisive. And when I see it and I catch it, I call it out loud and say, we got to bring this together. We can't do this separate. So I received that very much so, because that's one of the reasons why I'm here right now, because I know what I don't. I can say right now, okay, how am I different from everybody else? You can say right now, he doesn't do divisive.
Right.
You can talk about anything else. You can talk about football. You can talk about sports. You can talk about entertainment. You can talk about Cardi B compared to this one, Dallas versus the Giants. All that conversation is divisive conversation.
Right.
I just want us to be a little bit better together.
Yeah. That's right.
That's what I really shoot for. Okay. Last question for both of you. Okay. And I want y'all to look at Luigi, look at the camera, because for y'all to come back, this has to be activating. Okay. What's the one accountability challenge you're giving every man listening to this podcast for the next, I don't know, you give me a time frame, 7 days, 2 weeks, whatever. The one thing they need, accountability thing, so they can come back and say, I heard you and I'm activated and I did what you said to do. So now what? I want them to come back to us and say, now what? I did what you said. Now what? Yours is going to be, of course, physical or dietary. Yours is going to be mental or emotional. I like this. See, so first of all, my question is amazing because you see both sat up in the chair. They both said, "Let me get in. I need a minute on this one. Let me make sure I get the right answer." So I know the question is a good question. But please jump in.
Okay. First thing I would say, when you get up in the morning, make your bed. Make your bed in the morning. Let's start with that accountability. Drink water. And tell yourself that you're going to be the best version of yourself that you're going to be before you leave the house.
All right, let's pause there for a second. Go back a little bit, okay?
Okay.
Drink water.
Drink water.
Is it 8 glasses of water? Is it a glass of water when you come out of the bed? Is it a glass when you come out the shower? Is it a glass of water when you get in the car? Like, give them the water, like put them on a schedule now.
Okay, all right. We're going to think about drinking 1 glass of water every 3 hours.
I like that
Every
answer.
3 hours. So this way, we're going to give you time to think about it and give you time to develop the habits.
Okay.
Because what's going to happen if you don't develop the habits, you can't do it. So if I give you something too involved, you're not going to do it. That's why I say make your bed. Get up and make your bed, and let's start with that accountability. And 99.9% of the time, I make my bed every morning.
So I like that.
Right.
Okay, now if you want to add something else to it, I'm good. I just want to make sure, again, I'm doing it bullet point wise, so you can write this down.
Now I'm going to say...
Make your bed,
Right.
drink a glass of water every 3 hours,
Right.
and as you're making that bed, remind yourself you want to be the best version of yourself every single day.
That's right.
Okay? We add something else, we'll be good with that.
Okay. I will say we can, when you... if you're really feeling froggy, 10 push-ups.
10.
10. That's just 10 push-ups. That's it.
Okay.
Just 10 push-ups.
So,
Every day.
Every day.
Set.
Every day. Every day.
okay, so this makes too much
Start
sense.
with 10.
So this makes too much
Give him,
sense.
give,
Okay.
give it to him slow.
Okay, Sensei. When
Grandmaster.
Grandmaster.
Well,
Okay.
sensei is actually quadronym, is not sensei.
Okay, please.
Sensei is actually Japanese and is instructor. Quadronym is like master,
Okay.
grandmaster.
Quan Janem
Kwanjan M.
Yes.
instructs you to do 4 things. How long? To feel accomplished.
I'll say let's try it for a month.
Okay. He wants you to do 4 things for a month. Make your bed every day. Drink a glass of water, I'm assuming 8 ounces,
Right.
every 3 hours.
Right.
Okay. Remind yourself as you're making that bed, you're going to be the best version of yourself every single day. And after you make that bed, do 10 push-ups.
That's it.
Then attack your day for a month. And when he comes back, I need you all to comment and come back and say, I've been doing that, and see the difference and comment on the differences that makes. That's physical and that's dietary. Mental and emotionally. I'm going to make sure I say this question right. What's the one accountability challenge you give every man that's listening to this podcast for the next, and you give the time frame?
Well, I want to stay in lockstep with my partner over here. I want to say for the next 30 days, the first thing I want you to do is identify who you are. Strip away all of the nonsense. Strip away the car, strip away the job, strip away any other accolades that you have. Who am I without any of those things? What's the core of who I am? The second thing I'm going to give you is find 2 people that you need to apologize to and apologize to them. They don't have to receive it. You just need to sincerely say, I did something wrong to this person. We might not never speak again, but I have to take the accountability. This was my fault, and go apologize for that, right? The second thing, the next thing I would say is find a journal every morning, every afternoon, every night. Write if you had an emotional hang up today, if your boss got on your nerves, why? Why did it trigger you? Right? Because what this is going to do is going to help you find out the things that make you upset that you don't even know why they're making you upset. You're walking around going, oh, that's triggering me. Why? What happened? What happened in your past that makes that thing trigger you? Because most things that trigger us, and when we look at them in their totality, they mean nothing. We're having fights over things that actually mean nothing. We have family members not speaking each other, and you ask them why, they can't even remember anymore. So these are the things that will help you get to a place where you can start tapping into your emotions. And the fourth thing I'm going to say, again, like Tally said and I said, you can go to Google and just Google the emotional wheel. I'd rather you go and actually buy it. I want you to have it on your wall so you can look at it. And also, when you go to ChatGPT and you ask it the question, I'm feeling XYZ because of XYZ happened. How would I translate that to the emotional wheel? And then it's going to take you step by step. This is emotion B, put to emotional A to Z, and takes you through the steps. So then you can start articulating how you feel.
Okay.
Because once you do that, you begin to release yourself of a lot of things, a lot of angst, a lot of anxiety, a lot of things that you're dealing with that you don't know how to process through.
Okay. So let's recap that one. We got 4 things here. Okay. One of them, find 2 people to apologize to for no other reason but to clear your spirit and clear your soul.
That's right.
Second thing, you need to find this emotional wheel. Okay. And work that process to help you work through what you're going through. That goes into thing number 3, because it will help you identify who you truly are as you strip these things away.
Right.
And number 4, get a journal, and when you're triggered, write it down. And write down whatever that is within that moment. Right. You might not even have the proper words. It may be all curse words.
Yep.
It may be all I don't understand. But get it out and get it on paper.
And read it back to yourself. You have to read it back to yourself in that moment. Later on, read it back to yourself.
Well,
that's going to help you.
That sounds amazing because you'll see how you communicate out loud. You'll look at yourself.
Right.
It's almost like looking at yourself in the mirror as you say it out loud.
Absolutely.
Okay. All right. I'm quiet now. Your platform, what you want to let people know about, how they can reach out to you, how they can contact you, and how that works.
Okay, so if you're looking for coaching work, you can go to tpccoach.com. That's my coaching platform.
I think, Luigi, if you give that information, I'll be right on that lower third as you say it.
Okay,
right,
great.
Luigi?
Yeah. I'm because of Big Brother right here. I've been working on some things, bringing back my podcast. It's called Triumphant. It's to deal with things of this nature, and also budding artists, people out here doing business. There's a lot of core things within our village that we're not looking at, right? So you have you teach martial arts, right?
Correct.
Black-owned business, right?
Yes.
I should be putting people into that business.
Absolutely.
Right? And that's what I'm trying, that's one of the things I'm trying to do. I'm trying to establish the village. The village needs to come back. Other than that, I'm on Instagram at I am Tony A. Watts. I post anything there. It gets crazy there, so you can go see that. Other than that, man, this is amazing being here with you today, bro. I really appreciate having to share, with you, Aaron. I learned some amazing things. We bounced some amazing things off of each other. If the one core thing that I can say to the audience and to the gentleman that's out there, and ladies, please forward this to all the men in your life, is that we have to now show up as men in our communities. We have to start showing up outside of this fake masculinity and bravado that does not get us anywhere, into prison, to old age, to broken bodies. We have to stop that, because if you look at, and I want you to do this exercise, next time you go shopping, look at couples that are together. 8 times out of 10, maybe 7 times out of 10, the man is humped over, a walker, and the woman is walking spry, because he thought his life was dedicated to providing and breaking his body to protect his family. He never let go of his emotions. One of the reasons why women live longer than men, because when they have grandchildren, women interact with the grandchildren. The man doesn't. He's not involved as much. He's not emotionally attached to them as much. So he's off into the corner. Mm-hmm. We have to get out of the corner and get into the process. Family needs us.
Okay.
Mr. Wilson, what you're currently working on, what you like people to know about you, how they can contact you and find you.
Okay. Crusaders Martial Art Training Center, 203-891-5158.
Say it again.
Crusaders Martial Art Training Center. 203-891-5158. You can reach my Instagram, Crusader Gear on Instagram. If you need to leave me a message. I just want to leave with we just got to be more accountable. We have to be more accountable for ourselves, our health, right, and our well-being, and it all connects together. The thing that we, as men, we do not go to the doctors. We need to go to the doctors. We need to get regular checkups, not just the one time a year. When you feel that you're not feeling well, go to the doctors. And I'm making sure I'm doing this as well.
Right.
Sometimes me and my daughter have a conversation. I think another day I kind of had the flu, and I was like, oh, I'm all right. But I ended up going. They said, well, you got the flu. But I did go.
Right.
I saw that he wasn't feeling well, and he misled me into thinking that he was fine.
This you're walking right to the dynamic we're speaking about, right?
Exactly.
None of us are perfect. Perfection is not of this universe.
Right.
So within that, I understand.
Yeah.
Tell him, don't be strong for me.
Nice.
Yeah. But like again, just take care of yourself. And like I said, I'm 65 this year. I just turned 65 in August.
I was waiting for that moment.
You look amazing, bro.
Thank you. And I think it's mainly because I take care of myself and I drink water every day. I drink my water.
You do the 4 things we talked about?
Yeah. I make my bed every day, right? Every day. She even started making her bed now. I'm working with my son to make his bed. But yeah, really. I mean, you gotta practice what you preach, and you gotta be the example of it. And I believe you have to be the example. In order for people to follow you, gotta be the example.
Appreciate that. I got one statement just for the women that are watching this, because you said a very important part as far as men being transparent and speaking their emotions. There's a stereotype about how men are perceived.
Right.
I'm not even going to get into that dynamic because I don't want to give that a certain amount of energy.
Right.
I just got one statement for women in general in reference to that. We are here too.
Let's go.
Men lives matter too.
Okay.
Let's go.
Yep, that's what I'm saying. When y'all go through your things, we have to be present. If we're not present, the first thing y'all do, or the first thing that's considerably done, is we are talked about in a bad way because of what we are not, because we're not present for you.
I don't condone that.
Okay.
Because I think black men and black women need each other.
And that's why I'm saying we are here. And that's why I said we are here too.
Yeah.
Because it doesn't mean that there's something wrong with us. It just means we need to be addressed as much as their situations are addressed. I'm not criticizing. I'm not complaining. I don't even want to fight. I'm just saying. That's why I say the statement simply. We are here too. Okay. With that being said, I want to thank you, Goju Nation, for tapping in. Absolutely. Follow us on the socials: IG, X, Threads, Facebook, YouTube, @GothamJungle, @GothamJungle. Follow, subscribe, like, and share. Follow, subscribe, like, and share. Okay. This was great. Don't forget to send your emails so we can get the newsletter going. All right. I want to thank Tony. I want to thank Aaron. I want to thank Mom. I want to thank Roxanne. I want to thank the supreme architect of the universe. And always remember, light and darkness cannot coexist at the same time. So if you choose to be one, choose to be the light. Salute. We appreciate you. Talk to you soon.
GothamJungle, we got the facts. Qualified, verified, certified plaques. Keep humble and remain class acts. If we choose to be the light, then we're never off track. Check the rhyme, can we kick it like Tribe does? All the time, we on point like the stylus.
Industry
Don't forget the industry rule. Number 4080, baby, don't be fooled.